Well, it all depends on the race and how they managed to get into space, and whether it was done through cooperation, you know, the species getting together and realizing, hey, war is stupid, or whether it was something like military dictatorship that took control of the world and wanted to expand. It's basically what it is. You can't really know unless you know the history of what their world was like. In our case, currently, right now, if we actually started doing interplanetary exploration under our world, violence, big time violence. If there's similar to ours, if there's some sociological change in the world, something I'm not going to hold my breath for, perhaps it would be sort of like what Larry Niven envisioned. Read his stuff. Good author. Now, what else is there? Yes. Our major advances in technology have been driven by war. This is very true. And after a war, it was pounded into plowshares, as it were. Case in point, the nuclear bomb, giving us nuclear power. So, then there's, whatever. This one of those things that's generally glossed over, though, is that also vast advances in medicine are made during wartime. I mean, MASH may have fictionalized it a lot, but that was a pretty accurate description of what was going on at the time. And during the downtime, the doctors could read medical articles and things that were proposed, and they could try new stuff in a battlefield condition because, hey, it might work, and you're desperate. And the soldier dying there, they're trying to save his life. He's not going to complain later. You used an unproven medical experiment on me to save my life. Because if it saved his life, hey, you know. That's how that works. And actually, the Cold War did give us vast technological advances too. You say, how? And I say, in 7 years, from the time Kennedy called for us to get to the moon till we actually did it, there wasn't a per se war going on. There was more tensions, but it was a subtle war. And you all say, oh, we just went up there and got a few rocks, and it was just a big waste of money. And I say, bull. Okay? You have to look at what the trickle-down technology provided. Okay? And I'll just give you one little thing. Okay? Hospitals. Prior to that, you had, if someone was in critical condition, huge oxygen tents, massive wires hooking you up to machines, big machines, okay? And now you have little pads with little bitty wires that do remote sensing. Ask a patient, which would he prefer to have? You know, there's a lot of trickle-down technology. Lightweight wheelchairs. That's because of the space program, believe it or not. Because the space program started pushing metallurgy to get better and lighter metals. The same thing with computers. It's the same thing. Trickle-down technology from what NASA did. But nobody wants to look at that. They go, oh, we just went to the moon and got us a few rocks, so big a deal. It was a big, huge waste of money. Yeah, big, huge waste of money. it was utterly ridiculous how little it actually cost each taxpayer to do that. It sounded big, but for each taxpayer, really, each human being in America, it cost about $1 per year, if that. Okay? Think about that. That's dirt cheap. And so many technological advances came forward from it. Ceramics and the shielding, for heat, and plastics for cars. All of this driven by the Cold War. So, yeah, I mean, war drives technology, but it all depends on the kind of war. You're not going to get technology for technology's sake. Some stuff is just accidental, but other than that, you have to have some driving force for it. Penicillin was an accident. It was a great benefit to humanity, but it was an accident. It wasn't driven for. Lucite, sheer accident. DuPont even admits it. But it was an accident on their watch, so they got to make it. So, I hope that answers your question, but yes, there are aliens out there. If you want to read an interesting book, I'm going to check my public library to see if it's there. Look for Robert Heinlein, Grumbles from the Grave. Okay? It's a series of his writings that were published after his death. And he's also puts out a lot of good science fact into what he believed. And what's fact. And how much things cost. But it's just sad. Some things. Just sad. Ah, well. I'm rambling on too much and getting off topic, so have an adequate day.